Within 24 hours, this infected operating theatre could be back online, alleviating suffering, saving lives, and saving you money. A closed operating theatre costs its trust £15 per minute, more than £10,000 over an average 12-hour day. With more than 5 years' experience working on the front line with some of Britain's largest ambulance trusts, one company has the skills, the staff and the experience to help you win the war against infection. The London bombings proved this company's readiness to respond.
We took the call and we responded within 90 minutes. We had a team based in Waterloo Ambulance Station who were restocking vehicles, and we had a team based in Millwall cleaning, decontaminating the vehicles that were coming off calls to the various underground stations and the bus bombing. We responded quite recently to the huge fire in the flats in London, and again, within 1 hour of taking the call, we had 2 teams in place. We had one at the fire, restocking vehicles with burns, dressings and saline drips, and we had another team where the vehicles were going back to after they'd been on duty, and we restocked and cleaned all those vehicles, and every vehicle was back on duty, every storeroom was restocked, ready for the next morning. Now that's part of the ethos we build into our teams, that this isn't just a contract, this is a partnership. We truly believe that. We don't think you can be in the NHS without that belief.
We do teach all of the staff very in-depth knowledge about each piece of medical equipment. They then have an understanding of how that piece of equipment then relates to the patient, because all of this ultimately is about improving patient safety and patient care. Because we take the time and effort to train them to such a depth, that pays us benefits because it helps us deliver a much better service for the client.
Mask size 3. That's for the throat and the airways.
Their in-depth knowledge of what the paramedics and the nurses and doctors do and how that equipment's interfaced with the patient pays off dividends in the end. It provides the client with a much better level of service. If you rub that through your hands now, both sides, through your fingers. We are currently working with Warwickshire College to develop an MVQ standard for make-ready and infection control training that we provide in-house. It's about developing those key people, because ultimately they are the key people that drive the delivery of the service for the client and help us achieve the goals we wish to achieve for the customer. If you'd like to bring your hands forward, Shireen. So under the light, yeah, that's not bad actually, turn them over. A little bit on your fingers, yeah, just a very minor few specks, but very, very good. Very good attempt.
Over 5 years we've learnt lots. We looked around for effective chemicals that we thought we needed based on the information we'd initially had from the London Ambulance Service. We've actually developed a partnership with Chemex. It's a 2-part chemical pack tested in independent labs to make sure that it kills everything we say and they say it kills.
Many common cleaning chemicals will kill most organisms. Things like MRSA are actually quite easy to kill. Flu virus, quite easy to kill. When you get to the more difficult organisms, things like Clostridium difficile spores, especially small round structured viruses such as norovirus, these are notoriously difficult to kill completely unless you use the correct products. We have some very novel and exclusive products which we've been using in the healthcare and hospitality markets for some years, and indeed we specialise in high-level infection control and dealing with some of the more interesting characters that normal, everyday hygiene products traditionally don't touch.
Recently we had a norovirus contaminated vehicle, and within an hour and a half we deployed a team to the area with the correct chemicals to ensure that the vehicle was decontaminated correctly, and we're able to respond very, very quickly to our clients' needs.
We continually check. Our managers have got specialist equipment to audit vehicles, ATP testers. We also use swab testing to verify the service that we're delivering. It's done with an independent company. Results are available to the trust via their own portal, and we actually supply those results back to them with some specific targets. The partnership that we've got has recently been tested by the Solitary Care Commission, and we've had excellent results where the whole package is in place. What we want to do now is offer what we've learned to hospital wards and operating theatres. We'll be on site with a specialist emergency infection control team who are all trained, who've got the equipment and the right chemical to get that ward returned back to the hospital trust within 24 to 48 hours. If we can do that and prevent wards being closed for days and days and days, then obviously that's going to be a huge saving to the trust.
Every 5 minutes, one NHS patient is infected with a potentially lethal organism. Every 5 minutes, the NHS spends £9,000 dealing with hospital-acquired infections. In 5 minutes, you could begin a partnership that will help win the war on infection. Talk to our staff now.